If you are looking to transition to cloud engineering and you've been feeling lost about what topics to study, which certifications to get, or maybe you already have been applying for cloud jobs with no callbacks, or even gone through interviews with no success, chances are you are missing at least one of the three pillars I'm about to show you. These three, when combined, make you the top choice for the highest paying six-figure opportunities. The first pillar is specialization. When we talk about being a specialist, it's easy to think we need to master everything, know every cloud provider, master every tool and concept, be amazing at coding. But let me ask you something. Do the highest paid mechanics work on every type of car and engine? No. They specialize maybe in classic cars or electric vehicles, and their value comes from mastering core concepts refined through hands-on experience in a specific area. The same goes for us cloud engineers. We don't need to learn every cloud platform out there. We don't need to be Python geniuses or Java experts. What we actually need to master are the core concepts: storage, networking, compute, and security. As challenges come up in your day-to-day work, we learn. But we don't spend all our time studying because honestly, it's not even possible to know everything. As a senior cloud engineer, I don't always know the solution right away, but I know where to look for it. Once you master the core concepts, you can navigate in the other areas. The confidence in your career comes from repeating that pattern. I don't know how, my job is to figure out how. Once you start thinking this way, even that anxiety that you need to know all the answers decreases and you operate better. And I see this pattern even working with engineers and architects at Microsoft. There were different projects that I engaged with Microsoft over the last few years. Last week, I was in a big meeting with senior leaders in tech in the organization that I'm contracting for. There were head of platform, enterprise architect, solutions architect from the client side and also from the Microsoft side, some big roles, big titles there. And what was really interesting to me was to observe that few questions raised by architects in the client side. The solutions architect from the Microsoft side just told, hey, I'm aware of this context, but I will need to go over the documentation to get more details and come back to you with an answer on that topic. So when we look even at a very senior level, we are seeing this type of bouncing back, people, they don't know all the answers. Clear for us that we shouldn't be like the Mr. Magic that knows everything and knows all the tricks. We specialize in some core areas that are fundamental for us to operate. And from there, we keep just evolving our knowledge. We keep expanding, we keep learning every day. Also, technology shifts, things change. Microsoft, for instance, they decide to launch new products, that they change the product, they move things from one way of working to another one. So mastering the fundamentals will really set you apart, and also even being able to demonstrate that you understand the fundamentals and you are really okay and comfortable to embrace new technologies that will come up while you are working with the organization that you are hired to do the job as a cloud engineer. Now that brings us to pillar number 2, adopting a consultant mindset. This is about shifting from thinking like a job seeker to becoming a problem solver, someone who adds real business value. Imagine this: you are in a job interview for a great role, and suddenly anxiety and imposter syndrome hit you. You sit there as the hiring manager asks the same old questions. The interview ends again with, "We will get back to you." And you walk away wondering, should I study more? Should I get more certs? Do I need a degree? That happens because you are showing up like just another IT person with generalist skills, just like most of your competition. Even if you are already a cloud specialist, If you can't communicate your value, you won't be able to convince recruiters or hire managers that you are the right choice. That's why the consultant mindset is so critical. You have to show up as someone who is genuinely interested in solving problems. Lead the conversation. Stop waiting for permission to speak. Start being bold. Diagnose the company and ask questions like, what challenge is the company facing? What led to this role being created? Why wouldn't I be a good fit for this role? That's how consultants work. That's how leaders show up. But here's the issue. You can have specialization and consultant mindset, but without visibility, you will still stay invisible. You won't attract the right offers. This also applies in your current job and role. You can show up really prepared, confident, embodying that idea that you are someone that is going to be great in your field and that you're going to get in your problems. Even if you don't know all the answers, you are going to resolve them. Remember, I told you, our job is not to know how to do everything, but know and learn how we will figure out things and how we're going to resolve them. So in your current role, you also can help the business when they are trying to make a decision about a new solution, when they are trying to move a project forward, and people, maybe they are a little bit hesitant to move ahead. You can be someone that once you have that foundations, once you have that understanding of the core concepts, you can raise your hand, ask to move the project ahead, move the project forward. I did this in my career different times. I recall when I was working in a superannuation company, there was an AKS cluster there that cybersecurity team, they were concerned with some vulnerabilities that were raised during a pen test. And I was aware of the concepts of networking, compute that was running there, also some principles of security. The team was afraid to get that responsibility to dive into the details, understand what was going on, and how to protect that solution. And come back to the cybersecurity team with some recommendations that could remediate the concerns that they have raised. I didn't know all the answers, but I simply raised my hand and I asked if that could be done in a few weeks because I had other stuff in my plate that I was working. My manager agreed and he was happy that I was taking on that responsibility, even not knowing all the nuances and details. And I did figure out how to resolve the issues that they raised during that pen test. And when you do that, in your current job and company, chances they will appear to you to get promoted, or even exciting projects, or projects that they have more innovation, that maybe a technology that was never implemented there, they will invite you to participate. And all this, they become a track record in your resume that you can showcase that you are someone that learned the new technology. You are someone that is willing to lean into the unknown because you are confident that you can figure things out, you master the foundations. And that helped me tremendously in my career, when moving to other companies, talking even during interviews about that experience. And this is also embodying this consultant mindset, even in the workplace that I'm there. I don't know all the answers, but I know that I can figure things out, and that will keep building the confidence in myself. And I can showcase in interviews, I can showcase in meetings, performance reviews, and that can really help to set your career apart. And when you start approaching the challenges in your current organization, if you are already working on that way, it will help you to showcase this experience in the future. That's why Pillar 3 is expert positioning. This is about treating your career like a business. And the highest value business are the ones solving the most meaningful problems. But even the best business need marketing. Your resume, that's your company's presentation. It should be all about the results you bring, not a wall of buzzwords only you understand, not a list of random certs, not disconnect work history. By the way, there is a powerful AI tool in the video description that can help you craft a resume that stands out. In your LinkedIn, that's your money-making website. That's where you need to show up, not just as a job seeker, but as a leader, as a problem solver, as a business owner. You shift all your thinking of just I need a job to I want to work on this field to resolve business problems. And I feel grateful because all these three pillars I learned throughout my career. Back when I was even in Brazil, before starting as a cloud engineer, I was working in a full-time role like in help desk, and I did the transition to systems engineering, and there I had a chance to start contracting, and I started my own MSP company back in Brazil. And it was just a small business with myself and other three engineers, but I had a chance to talk with so many IT leaders and also senior leaders and even business owners, like with companies that would have around 500 employees, and I would help them to shape their IT. And talking with these leaders, I learned so much about this shift that we should have from this mindset that we are just trying to get a job, but instead of getting a job, we are trying to do work. And I recall even during a few interviews here in Australia already, like when I was interviewing, I was not concerned really about the job, like about the title. I was more concerned about what is the pipeline of work that we have, what are the projects that are coming up, like what are the challenges that we will face during these projects. I believe showcasing that approach that you are interested in to do the work, that really makes a difference, like it positions you as someone that wants to resolve problems. Because let's be honest, the company is taking money from their profit. They're not doing that like just because they want to pay someone, they want to have people hanging around. Like they want people there that will help them to resolve problems, to improve their product, to improve the customer experience that they offer. And when we approach that way, you just glide in your career. Like really, it's easy to skyrocket your career using that approach. And sometimes people even get concerned, like, oh, that means that I will work till my eyeball bleed. And not really. Like I have other videos here that I talk about being organized and how you approach your day, selecting the things that are going to work. Because sometimes people, they feel concerned that they will, in order to do work, they need to do a lot of things. But I believe there are some nuances like on how you operate, like how you increase your capacity, how you take ownership on things that really needs to be done, and how you can delegate, how you select the projects, like how you evaluate also the challenges that are coming with your skill set so you can keep growing but without feeling overwhelmed or stressed with that. And I believe this is a conversation that I see few people talk in the industry. It's easy to just tell like, hey, let's learn all this technology, but few people talk about being really mindful on the work itself that you are performing with your skills. Now, let's zoom out for a second and look at big picture. When you have specialization and consultant mindset, you become confident and credible. But without expert positioning, you stay invisible. When you have consultant mindset and expert positioning, you will get noticed, you will get interviews. But without specialization, you feel like an imposter under pressure. When you have specialization and expert positioning, you will attract high-paying roles. But without the consultant mindset, you will show up timid, sound like a tech employee, not a leader. But when you combine all three, that's when the transformation happens. That's when you break out of the help desk, tech support, or generalist roles and step into a cloud career that finally pays you what you're worth. And that's exactly what we walk you through inside my program, the Cloud Engineer Launchpad. In just 12 weeks, we will help you master all the three pillars. You will get hands-on specialization, working on real-world projects. You will build your consultant mindset to confidently lead conversations and interviews, and you will develop a powerful expert positioning strategy that brings six-figure opportunities straight to your inbox. So if you're done wasting time on courses that don't move the needle, if you're tired of being overlooked or underpaid in a job where you don't feel valued, and you are ready to take control of your career and finally step into your full potential, click the link in the description, book a quick strategy call with me and my team. Let's map out your path and make this transformation real. Let's build it together.